Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's live coverage of the boys volleyball game between the Francis Howell North Knights and the Francis Howell Vikings. Good evening, everybody. My name is Joel Bennett. Alongside me tonight is for the Knights to serve.
That's going to be definitely one thing that both teams are going to want to avoid. Obviously, giving up free points is not a fun thing to do, and you can very quickly dig yourself into a hole, which neither team would like here, as the other will take advantage of it.
Brett Winkleman is going to come in now for Noe Bustos. That was a good hit there, and Matt Peters is unable to keep it in play as Avery Ward is able to get a very nice serve there. Ward actually leads the team in aces with 12 this season. And now Ward is going to go back to try and serve again. 3-1 the score now as the Knights have the very early lead. Ward is going to serve it once again. Another blazer there. And that's a weak hit there by Evan Bonham. And they are going to get a point on a double hit on that set by Trey DeHesa.
North Knights going to make sure that they're going to limit stuff like that, as that is just a heads-up play. Good call by the ref there.
And now going back for the Vikings, that's going to be number 6, Ryan Woodson. Woodson's going to get it over. DeHesa is able to get it up. That's a good kill there by John Geralt. Engelhardt is going to get it back over. And they're going to set out for Winkleman, and that's a nice dig there by Peters. And that is a missed hit there by Evan Bonham, as he seemed to be a little bit off balance for that. And
yes, looks like he went up a little bit too early, as the ball was still way up there, and he wasn't able to hit it until he was already coming down from his jump. That's not where you want to be hitting that, of course.
Now John Geralt is going to go back to serve the ball for the Knights. He's able to get it over, and that is going to be a block, but unfortunately, Winkleman just hit the net, so it is going to be Vikings point.
It's another one of them those heads-up plays, as you need to make sure that you know where you are in relation to that net, as that's another free point for Howell.
And now Zach Rodman is going to hit it over for the Vikings. And that was a hit there by And that is going to be a kill there. That was number 11, Evan Bonham there. Bonham currently leads Howell in kills with 61 this season. And just like that, the score is tied as Rodman is going to go back for the serve. Off of Geralt, and that is going to be off, and that is going to be Howell's point. After that hit there by number 16, Grogan Cross, a freshman, getting his points in here to start off the game. As Trey DeHasa is going to go back and serve for the Knights.
It's a good initial hit there by the Vikings, getting a block, but just not able to finish it off as they got a little bit too much of it, which made it hard for the back player to return it.
And after that miss serve there by Trey DeHasa, it's going to go right back to Howell. And those were good saves there by both Trey DeHasa and Avery Ward. Englehart's going to hit it over, and from the back, John Geralt, and this is going to be another save. That was a nice save there by number 11, Evan Bonham. But unfortunately, the ball goes out of play, and that's going to be Knights' ball.
Some great defensive play there throughout that volley there, not just by the North Knights, as we saw both Avery Ward and Trey DeHasa with some great diving plays there, but then also being able to run back on the Howell side of the court. That was some great play by both teams.
Now Noe Bustos is going to serve it for the Knights. He goes over, and that is a block there by Avery Ward and Grogan Cross right there. That was an impressive hit there by number 3, Andrew Beans, but Ward and Cross were just right there to make the good block. Now it's going to be Knights again. They're going to get it over to Engelhard, and it's going to go off of Bustos. So Engelhard is able to get the kill, and it is now going to be 7-6 in favor of the Knights. Now going back for them to serve, that is their libero, Bryce Clemens. Clemens going for the serve. Ward is able to make that dig right there. And Ward is able to try and get the kill. Well, that was a good save there by Rotman. And they're able to get it up. No! It's going to hit off the top of the divide.
That's going to be something that both teams need to watch out for tonight, as Howell is not used to playing in a school that has that mat up here, as that's going to go for a free point for the North Knights. Both teams are going to have to make sure that they're watching that.
That's right. Dylan Lauer's going to hit it over now. And it's going to go over to Engelhard again. Nice dig there by Bustos. And Bustos is going to hit it over lightly. And they're going to go. And it's going to go off of DeHasa, as that point is going to go for Howell. Like you were mentioning, the divide up above them. The rules with that is that it cannot hit the divide and go over. If it is, it's automatically a point for the other team. So that's going to be something very important that both teams are going to have to consider, like you said. Kester is going to hit it over very lightly. And it's going to be the back attack. That's going to be a set there. Looking for Geralt. And Geralt, that's a nice dig there by Beans. It's going to go back to Geralt again. Weak hit there. And it's going to go towards the Knights after that illegal hit.
Good play there by Geralt on both of those. The ball was not quite where he wanted it, but still able to get a hand on it just to get it over the net. And you can see what happened there. The Vikings not able to respond to that one.
That's going to be a weak hit over. Bustos is able to get the dig to Geralt, and that's a nice kill there by Geralt. That was a nice setup there from A.V. Ward, so that Geralt can get that easy kill right in the middle of the court.
Geralt with a third kill already, as this one is 10-7 in favor of the North Knights.
And that's going to be hit over. It's going to look for Eric Wiggins, and Wiggins, nice save from Bustos, and Ward is going to try and hit it, but that is a block there by the freshman Andrew Beans.
Great read there by Beans, went up for it by himself, able to spread himself out though and get the block there so that Vikings can keep this one close.
And now Matt Peters is going to head back there to serve, as it's now 10-8 in favor of the Knights. Lauer is going to dig it out to Bustos, and it's a hit from Dane McManus, but that's a nice save there. And here comes some more Ward for it. And Dane trying to get the score, and he does. The Vikings tried to recover it. It looked like that was Evan Bondman right there, along with Ryan Woodson. However, none of them were able to recover from that.
She may have caught the net, but McManus able to put enough heat on that ball to make it sure it still goes over. As that was a good read just to go over to our near side here, as there was no one to defend it.
Ward is going to go up for the serve for the Knights. And that's another heater as that goes off of Matt Peters. And that is another ace for Avery.
Ward is looking really strong so far on his serves, as you said, he already has 2 aces on just 3 attempts.
And the Vikings are going to take a timeout now as Francis Howell North leads by a score of 12-8 in this first period. And
Francis Howell North student section starting to get loud. The entire time, as many of these guys know each other.
They're still going with parole, led by, of course, the alumni Sam Hosher. And now they are going to do the "I believe we will win" chant.
North Knights kissing the serve off as Avery Ward gets ready to serve it here for the North Knights.
And now they're going to kick play back up again, as Ward is going to serve it again as a nice there, and Ward is able to dig out that weak hit, and Geralt's is going to just knock it over for now. He's going to be looking for Bonham, and he's going to hit it out.
Good read there by Dylan Lauer, making sure that he wasn't going to go after the ball. I don't know if he necessarily had a play on it, but still a good read. And the North Knights are going to escape that one, as that one's going to sail out the back.
That's right. Ward is going to go for another serve. And Peters is able to save it this time. Past couple of times he has received it, he has not been able to get a clean hit. Gerald's is going to hit it over, but Engelhardt is able to get that. And Beans, and it's a nice block there by John Geralt, as that was a very weak hit from the Vikings point.
It's always great to start off each volley with such a great serve as Avery Ward's been bringing. As that was almost another ace, perfectly positioned, just right on the ground.
And Ward is going to serve it out. The first mistake that Ward has made as a server, as that one goes just out of bounds. And now the Vikings are going to get the ball back, as Ryan Woodson is going to be serving for them. Woodson has 5 aces on the season, second most for the team. And Ward is going to go over to Dane McManus. Nice deflection there from Vikings. It's going to be just a float over, going for John Geralt, and that is going to be tipped. And they're going to hit it over, and Geralt again, and that's a weak hit, and that goes just in bounds. As well, the first 2 times he had hit it was very hard. He decided to switch it up, and that caught the Howell defense off guard.
Great communication there by the North Knights on that volley there, as there was shouting going on from not just the players on the court, but from the bench.
And that's a nice hit there from Bonham. The Knights were unable to get a clean block on that, and that goes out of bounds. And the Vikings have position again, as now Zach Rotman is going to be serving for the Vikings and get it toward, and that is going to stay in the court, as Vikings are going to retain possession. I'm just going to hit it over almost catching the Knights off guard. That's a nice hit there by Grogan Kraus as it hits off of two of the Howell defenders before it reaches the ground.
Kraus, a surprise player actually in this game. He usually plays on our JV squad here at North, but coming in as Thomas Bai has been injured, as he is showing up big so far tonight. He already has 2 kills.
And that's a nice kill there, once again from Evan Bonham. As he was able to.
Good play there by Gerald. But if you can get it from the back, that's even better. He also has 5 kills, and him and Bonham are going to go back and forth all night, and it's going to be a really exciting way to watch them.
Both the guys lead the team in kills. Geralt has 65. Bonham has 61. As the Knights hit the net as they were trying to block that ball, and now the Vikings are able to get it back.
Ward getting a little too anticipatory there as he's going to go over the net onto the Viking side, which is going to result in the Vikings point.
And now going for the serve is Bryce Clemens, the libero of tonight's game. And that is going to go out of bounds. And now
good read there by the backcourt of the North Knights as they watch that one sail out rather than going out for it.
And now Dylan Lauer is going to be going back to serve the ball for the Knights as they lead 18-13 now. And going for it that was Andrew Beans. And that's a nice switch up there from Avery Ward, as is usual.
You saw that defense start shifting. You saw an open spot right in the middle of the court as he's going to take that one for himself, as Howell is going to take a timeout here as North is now up 19-13 in this first set.
And like we mentioned before, Avery Ward, who usually plays as a setter, has also gotten lots of kills, mostly due to the mix-up. He has 11. My mistake. He has 26 kills this season, which is best for third on the team besides both Thomas Bai and John Geralds. So that little switch up there is a very effective way to get points for the Knights.
And it just shows how good of a player he is. He can fill those many roles. He makes good reads, especially just being a sophomore.
Hey, we're
off on the other side of the net as he's just going to be able to barely tip that one back in, like you said, Joel, and get some points for the North Knights here as it's now 20-14.
And now it's going to be a back again. And that's a nice save from Avery Ward. And is it going to get over? No, it's not. It would have been very impressive plays from both Avery and Patrick if they were able to get it over. But unfortunately, just short.
Kester needs to make sure that he knows where he's at. A little bit of poor positioning there, as that one would have sailed easily outside of the back of the court, resulting in a north point, but that one's going to go back to Howell instead.
And it goes, and John Geralds is going to go for the kill, and it goes right off of Clemens. He was expecting something a lot harder.
The Howell defender not really expecting that one, as there was some open space behind him. I thought that's where Geralds was going to go with that ball, but he puts it right in front of him. A little bit of an unexpected play, but still a good read by Geralds.
Just like that, everyone is going to be back to surfing. And is going to hit off them, and that is going to be a nice kill there from Dane McManus, as he was able to make up for the error, or take advantage of the error, my mistake, and just get that easy kill.
Great play by McManus there.
Now Ward is going to go back to serving. And that one is going to go out of bounds as well. The second mistake he has made on serving tonight. Now it is going to be 22-16 in favor of the Knights.
Ward definitely needs to make sure that he's going to start shoring that up. As you mentioned, it's his second mistake in a row. It's something we were seeing not from him early on, as he was actually the cornerstone of what was going right for the North Knights, as he is going to give now 2 points to Howell.
That was a very impressive block there by Sam Beans, the older of the Beans siblings here tonight. And Ward, and that's a nice tip over from Geralds, but that's not going to be enough. And that is going to be a block there.
Good awareness there by the North Knights, as they were having a lot of play up right at the net, making sure that they weren't making any contact with it, though, as that would have been bad for the North Knights.
Now Geralds is going to be back to serve for the Knights, as they now lead 23-17. And Geralds is going to hit it out of bounds.
North Knights definitely needing to figure out what's going wrong with out of bounds lately.
Getting back to serve. He's going to hit it over to Hesa. Is going to hit it over to Ward. And that was a nice floater there by Grogan Cross, the freshman.
Another good read by Cross, seeing that open gap right there in the center of the court, as now Howell is looking to try and fix that. Their coach trying to put somebody in position there, as Cross is going to pick up his third kill of the night.
And Dehesa trying to get the win there. Peters is able to get a nice take there from Dehesa. Kester is going to float it over, as he's going to go over to Engelhardt. And Dehesa tries for a nice save, but that is not going to be enough.
Dehesa got in front of an absolute rocket there. That one just kept going.
That was a nice kill there from Engelhardt. As now going back for them is Evan Bonham. Knights only need one more point to take the set. During the serve, too many of them were going out of bounds, just giving both teams free points.
Yeah, Joel, this is something that we don't really expect to see from either of them, especially from the people that are happening to. 2 out already, as he opened up very strong early in that first set. He was very strong on his serve, getting a couple of aces already so far, but then having those 2 free ones as he knocked those out of the side and then the back of the court.
Very impressive kills on both sides. Who do you think was probably the best player set?
In this first set, I have to give for the North Knights. With that block. team in kills. He has to make up for the absence of Thomas Bai, who is one of the better hitters in the state right now. But he has to make up for the loss of his teammate. But also, Grogan.
Boys volleyball game against the Francis Howell Vikings. Now it looks like they're going to try and figure out who's going to start off with the ball, as both from the Vikings, as Pierce was able to get his hands on it, but it just fell right in between everybody after that.
Vikings looking a little dazed here coming out of that first set. North Knights taking advantage of it here, as they will take all the free points they can get.
And now that was a look for the kill. Going to be out of bounds, as it looked like it might have possibly hit off of Bustos, but
rare mistake there by Bonham, as he's leading the team so far in hits.
And now they are going to converse about if Bustos did hit or not. Note that is a Viking player who made the call there, so might be a little biased, but who knows.
Gonna talk to one of the corner judges here.
And they are gonna give it to Howell. And now the Knights judge is gonna be yelling about it. And
Senior John Garrot's talking to the ref about the change there.
And now they're changing the line judge. That, who knows what's happening here, Jordan?
Well, it looks like North Knights are trying to argue a little bit here, as the corner judge has changed a couple of times here in this first part. Waiting here now for a ruling from the officials.
And they are officially going to give it to the Vikings. And that very weird sequence there.
Vikings getting away a little bit there with that one. It's going to bring it back to 1-1 as we are going to restart here.
And now I'm just going to hit it over, and it's going to be
Ward needs to make sure that he's going to get a handle on his serves. He's now sent 3 straight out, not looking like himself, looking like he's playing a little bit, maybe a little too much power behind it, and that's what's causing it to go out the back.
And now he's going to be set up for Winkleman. He's going to go over to Engelhard. That's a nice dig there. And no, they are going to say that it touched the ground before Lauer was able to make the dig. So
But the North Knights are going to get points out of this one, though, as it seems like there may have been a foul called on the Vikings.
now Geralt is going to be serving again, and that is going to be an ace. Get the ball right back in this.
Looks like it may have stayed on Howell's side anyways, but Kester definitely making sure it was going to stay over there as he's going to lay that one into the ground to give the Knights a 4-point lead.
And it looks like for Engelhard, but the Haste is right there to recover. Looking for Winkleman, but that's a nice block there from Beans. It's going back to Winkleman. Lofts it over, and he's going to be looking for the backcourt hit. Nice save there from DeHasa. Kester's just going to loft it over. That's a nice save there from Clemens, but he goes over the line. So that is going to be North's point.
North Knights starting to look really strong here since that miss serve by number 7, Bryce Clemens. They've definitely taken advantage of this possession time.
DeHasa is going to be going again, and Clemens is going to get the nice dig there. And Bean's trying to go for it, but that was a nice block there. Ward able to get it. Looking for Kester. And that is going to be a kill there by
Really here in the second as he has recorded 2 kills as Howell is going to take a timeout as they are down 10-4 here in the second.
Jordan, we must say, these first 14 points here in the second set have been pretty odd, wouldn't you say so?
Yes, those first 6, it was 3-3 at one point. Both teams looking a little uncomfortable. There was a few changes by the officials on where points were going, which has allowed North to take this lead.
And not only on the benches are people buzzing about the refs, but also here up on the stands, as lots of questionable calls have been made.
Yes, obviously the officials are going to try and keep as bipartisan as possible, but of course, obviously from any game, whether it's high school or pro, you are going to see people not happy with the calls, obviously, but it's just going to stand where it is, and you just have to chop it up to playing as hard as you can.
All right, the Knights are on a 4-point streak right now, as Dehesa is going to continue to serve for the Knights as they are up 10-4 right now. Dehesa going for it, and they're going to set it up, and that was a nice try there by Ryan Woodson, but it goes into the net. And it looks like the Vikings might be starting to lose it in the second set. So they're now 7 points behind.
Well, Howell's had a little bit of a revolving door here in this second set, bringing in a lot of players, subbing out a lot of people. Nobody's been able to get in comfortable and get in a groove, which could be definitely hurting the Vikings' chances here, as the North Knights are going to go up 12-4.
And Beans looked to end that drought, but unfortunately hit it far out and just extended it more. And that is going to be a misserve there, as they are finally going to turn possession over to the Vikings.
All good things must come to an end, Joel, but Trey did have a very good run there as he's led the team now into a large lead here in the second.
And Winkleman's going to get it over very cleanly, and Beans is going to try for it, and he lofts it right in between 4 North players.
Nobody able to get there from the Knights defense, as that one's just barely going to go over the blockers, but not hard enough to go to the backcourt.
And the Vikings are going to retain possession here, as Engelhardt is going to continue serving. Hayes is going to get it. That's a good kill there, and that's looking for the block. Both of those were from Cross. It looks like some miscommunication, and they are going to get it over after going out of bounds. Now he's going to be set up for Beans again. Tries to loft it over, but unsafe orders there. Get over to Winkleman. Engelhardt. And Beans tries for the spike this time, as it just grazes off his fingertips and goes into the net.
A lot of North's points in the second set have been coming from Howell's not being able to get set and get in a good position to get a hit off, as we see another one there on the far side. That far side has been a huge problem spot for the Vikings so far in this second set, and what is a crucial match for them.
Noe Bustos is going to be going in for the Knights, and that's a miss in there from Clemens as it goes off out of bounds, and that is going to be a free point for the Knights.
North Knights have definitely come out firing second set, as they're up 14-6 right now. Definitely making sure that they're outplaying and playing well in the mistakes by the Vikings.
Loft over from Wiggins there, and it looks for a kill from Kester. That's going to go off of Clemens, as that's a nice save there by Bonham. It's going to look for Cross, and that is going to be a nice kill as it goes off of Engelman's hands, and that is going to be another timeout for the Vikings, as the Knights are very much pulling away with this now after a very close first 8 points, as now they have extended their lead up to 9.
Yes, the North Knights have come out firing here in the second. They knew that Vikings were going to try and come out, but in the theme throughout this second set, as they have had just miscue after miscue. the North Knights have definitely taken advantage of it. As you were saying, we have a 9-point lead now here in favor of North.
Here we go, the Knights are going to try and shut it out here as they are now. As Noe Bustos comes back to serve for the Knights. And they're going to go for it, and it's going to be out. As Beans once again tries to get the kill, but it just goes out of bounds.
Bustos just being able to dodge that one looked a little bit like something out of the Matrix.
That's a nice block there by the freshman Grogan Kraus.
Kraus now with 5 kills, as he is now catching up to senior John Garrelts, who has 6 on the game.
And that's another great serve from Bustos, and they are going to give it back. And that is going to be right on the line for number 1, Eric Wiggins. I mean right on the line, like the very edge of the line to stay in. So now the Vikings are going to be trying to make up for this deficit.
Yes, bad break there for the Knights, as that's going to give the Vikings back control. They're going to need to make sure that they're going to take it back and not make mistakes like that. The Hasten not able to get a good hit on the ball, as that one's going to sail out the back, as it's going to be 17-8 now in favor of the North Knights.
And Matt Peters is going to continue serving for the Vikings, trying to make up this very large deficit at this point. And Geraltz is able to keep it, and that is going to be for the Vikings, as a freshman Kraus accidentally touched the net. When you touch the net, that's a no-no.
Knights not looking good coming out of this timeout. They vote up 3 unanswered points. Now they need to make sure they're going to get a reel here, as that one's going to go soaring out the back. A missed serve by number 12, Matt Peters, may just help the North Knights get going here again.
Now Dylan Lauer is going to go back to serve for the Knights. Going to hit it to Clemens again, and he is going to be looking, and that's a nice dig there from Lauer, and they're going to give it to Howell on that. That was a nice diving dig there by Lauer, though.
Yes, it was. It absolutely saved the North Knights. The zone was going to be perfectly placed in the corner. Although it didn't work out for him, it was a great try from Lauer.
That was a nice dive there from Geralt, and Ward was looking for it, but unfortunately it hits off of the net. And just like that, the deficit is down to 7, so Howell slowly but surely making a comeback.
North Knights need to make sure that they're going to start setting in stone what's going on here, as they've had a little bit of miscommunication coming out of here, as that's a miss set there by Patrick Kessler on the far side, and then Avery
Another point for the Knights, as they were just unable to get it above the net.
Garrelts got a little lucky with that one. Caught a little, going after it just a little too late. Looked like he only clipped it with his thumb, and that threw off the North Knights as Will Skaggs is going to come in.
Well, the Knights side is looking very excited for that. And here comes Bonham, able to get the kill on that. And just like that, the Vikings have it once again. And they are going to give it to Zach Rotman.
Rotman's done very well with placing his serves so far.
And here comes what Bustos is going to be looking for Skaggs. Skaggs is going to loft it over. And is going to go over to Engelhard, who goes cross court. Nice dig there. And Gerald's trying to get it. Nice right there. And they're able to save it somehow after what looked like a tie between two forces between Sam Beans and John Gerald's. The Vikings are able to get the recovery on that.
Nice to make sure that they're going until the whistle. That's what happened there. They weren't prepared, and they thought the volley was already over, but it wasn't.
That's a nice block there from Gerald. Nice diving save there from Peters, and that's going to be out of bounds though, as both sides showing some impressive defense on that.
Yes, that was some powerful defense from both sides, starting off with that big block by Avery Ward, but then the reaction by the Vikings.
And now Avery Ward is going to be going back for the Knights.
Ward has had some struggles as of late with his serves, as he's going to get this one in.
And they had some nice, and John Gerald's trying for the kill, but that's a nice save there by headed up for Winkleman again. And that's going to go off of Bonham, as it will be another point. Now. And now the Knights are 1 point away from setting the Vikings.
Winkleman with 2 straight hits here now, as he's put North in a position to end it right here.
Gerald's just looking to end it here for the Knights, and that is going to go under the net, though. That's 24.
Toughest serve is a...
That is the end of tonight's game, as the Knights were able to get the win tonight. Knights team. What did you truly see?
They were also he's out.
From the FHN Gymnasium, alongside Jordan Lovechek. My name is Joel Bennett. We'll see you sometime.